Hello, Polish Best for UK here, and welcome to another video. And happy Wednesday, Wine Wednesday for some. Yeah, I've had a wine glass myself, to be honest. But this is Rainbow Islands on a Nintendo NES system. So let's have a look at this. Now, this is 1988, Tatio, and the NES sort of port was done in 1991, according to that screen there. We've got a nice colourful logo that we get on most versions of the game. So this is a story Bubble Bobble 2. I always got confused back in the day, thinking, how is this Bubble Bobble 2? It's nothing like the original Bubble Bobble, but it's just a story of it. It's not like a direct sequel, I don't think. But yeah, let's not go into. We're just going to do a quick game of the Nintendo NES version. So let's start the game. Of course, Nintendo have to stamp all the games with their original seal of quality. So this is an official licensed game. Every single Nintendo NES game is licensed to Nintendo, unless it's hacked or a pirate, not a pirated, but like a sort of like a company that couldn't get the rights. I don't know if you know the story, but Nintendo insisted that every single game was licensed by them. That's why every single Nintendo cartridge, I don't know if it applies to modern games such as a Nintendo Switch, but it's always got that seal of approval. That means they've had to pay Nintendo royalties just to get that seal of approval. I know it's a bit bad, really. And also, this game passes the lockout chip, the famous lockout chip, handshake. But we won't get into that. It's not a technical video. It's a game of day. So let's start the game. Right, okay, so you can have two players, just like on the original coin-up machine. Obviously, this is based on the coin-up machine. So let's press start to begin. Right, okay, so we've got the world map. So on to World 1, Insect Island, sorry. Right, I'll shut for a minute so I can listen to the music. So, I'm sure you Rainbow Islands fans are like, eh? Or if you've never saw the NES version, eh? That's not the music from Rainbow Islands. Well, it is technically, but only in later versions of the game. The trouble is, I don't know who was involved, but they got sort of a copyright hit. I think this is a story by The Wizard of Oz, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And I think the original game music, even though it's not technically the same as Somewhere Over the Rainbow by NGM Studios, I think there was a sort of copyright lawsuit preventing later releases of the game to use the same song as the original versions. If you want to hear the original version of the music, play earlier versions such as the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, the ZX Spectrum, the Amiga, the Atari ST. Also look at what we call it, the arcade machine original, of course. This version came out in 1991, and I think by then the licensing to use Somewhere Over the Rainbow had expired, or there wasn't even allowed to use it at all in the first place, and it sounded too similar. I don't know, like I said, I haven't really, this is just my guess on it. But yeah, this is how this version sounds. So I think the Master System and the subsequent PlayStation 1 versions, etc., all had the same problem as well. We haven't got the original Rainbow Islands tune. So just an interesting bit on the history of the game there. Gameplay-wise, it's very good. This ain't Nintendo version, actually, if you can get over the music differences. The game is very solid. It scrolls really well. Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. It scrolls really well upwards. Nintendo's original systems were pretty decent at scrolling anyway. That they had the hardware in them to handle the scrolling quite well. I think if you go left to right side scrolling on the Nintendo NES, unlike you get sort of like jagged blocks that appear where the entire map is constantly being drawn in, but that didn't bother anyone, to be honest. That was just the way the Nintendo NES looked at the time. Now, one thing I've noticed about this version compared to, say, the Commodore 64 version, there's a little bit more sprite flickering going on. The Commodore 64 version seems a bit more solid, but I think that's because it's using hardware sprites. The graphics look a bit different as well. I don't know if the Nintendo version is using hardware sprites. It might be. I'm not sure the architecture of the original Nintendo. But yeah, this is a really solid port. If you can get over the music thing, this is a really solid port. And it's got an advantage over the early 8-bit versions as well, because obviously the Nintendo NES control has 2 buttons, A and B. One could be jump, which it is. I think it's A that's jump and B that shoots a rainbow, so you don't have to worry about using up to jump, which is always a solid plus for me. So yeah, that's Rainbow Islands. Let's just try and get to the boss if we can, so we can see what the boss looks like on this version. I'm not doing too well on this game actually. Let's not get curled again, come on. If you don't already know Rainbow Islands, you shoot these rainbows. You literally shoot rainbows, so you must have some sort of rainbow gun. And the combination of jump and shooting a rainbow is probably quite innovative for the time, because you can go all the way up here, and he floats back down nicely using the comedic waving his arms like wings, which does the job nicely, to be honest. On to the next. This is the boss stage, I believe, so I'm going to try and get to the boss stage so we can see what the main boss looks like on the NES. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I wonder if I haven't really researched into this, but let me know in the comments if anyone has. If anyone has injected the original music score into this version, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? The Nintendo NES version with the original Rainbow Islands music. I would like to see. I would like to know if that's actually been done. But yeah, what a solid game. Let's proceed on. Whoa, watching out for these. Oh shit! It's one of them flying caterpillars. I even forgot they existed. They do in real life as well, don't I? I haven't saw a ladybug. I called it a caterpillar, it's actually a ladybug. Ladybird, sorry. Oh shit. Interesting now, just like on Bubble Bobble, if you jump up on a rainbow with a body trapped inside it, it does sort of get you there. Can't get up here, so you use a rainbow to hurry up. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The hurry thing is when the world starts flooding. Right, he's our boss. The good old spider guy. Oh no, I've just died already. What the? Right, let's try and get up to the boss. Oh, we're there. That's good. I think on other versions of the game, if you continue, you'd have to replay the whole level. Right, see that meter there at the top? That's his health. And one touch and you're dead, so you don't want that to happen, to be honest. Right, okay, let's try and avoid him this time. Oh shit. Be careful, because you can walk up on your own rainbows and then get you in danger's way. Have some of that. Alright, just... Oh, that was close. Oh shit, shit. Oh. You just change direction actually to follow which way you're moving, so you got to be careful with that as well. So right, let's get him. We've almost got him. One more hit. Yes, done it. Here comes a massive treasure chest. Massive grapes there. What, 10,000 points I think that means. Look at that, loads of goodies like ice cream. Is that a tomato or maybe a chili? Cake there, bananas. So on to Combat I'm going to end the video in a minute, but on to Combat Island. Let's see how that looks on the NES. Interestingly, it says Ren 5, which did confuse people at the time. I thought you would think it would say like World 2-1 instead of Ren 5, but that's the way they decided to do it. I think that was the same on the original coin-up machine as well. But yeah, what a great game to play on your Nintendo NES. Like I said, multiple times in the video. It's a shame about the music. I think I would have preferred it to have the original sound score like the arcade machine, but if licensing laws etc prevented that, then I don't think there was much they could do. They wanted to release the game, and apart from the music, it's an excellent port of the game. So let me know in the comments or email me directly, pauliesbest3uk@gmail.com, if there's been a hacked version of this that has the original music composed for this NES version, and I will definitely make a video of it. So I'm going to give Rainbow Islands on the Nintendo NES a solid 8 out of 10. Brilliant game. I would have give it, I'm happy to admit I would have given it a 9 out of 10 if it had the original music that we all know and love, but yeah, that's the way it is. So thank you for watching. Have a pleasant Wednesday. I'm going to have another glass of wine, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.